Welcome back everybody into another daily recap. Today is the last day of the month and what we're looking at is gold on the 1 minute. Essentially it's what happened today from basically the Asian session with London session, and then the New York, the main bulk of the New York session, and then the late New York up until now. As you can see, today we were waiting for the big announcement, which was the ADP employment change. As you can see, the last few months it was not showing up, so that's why we had 3 months of ADP change. And if you can clearly see that's the no, I think it's too much. Yes, you can clearly see here how the June, July, August, there was a huge decline, and coming from 380,000 new jobs created, 270 the next month, and this month expecting a little bit more was a lot less. But more than telling us possibly what the NFP at the end of the week, remember that at the end of this week we have the NFP. Let's just go on the United States, and as you can see here, Thursday is jobless claims, and Friday we have the NFP. So they are already expecting a much lower amount, 300k compared to the last month, 500, 200, because of the the interest rates are rising. So that's where they are expecting to see a slowing down in the job growth, and therefore in the overall economy growth. So, but let's just have a look at what happened as a price action standpoint. That it's what I like the most, with to combine it with some good fundamentals. So as you can see here, this is what happened during late Asian slash pre-New York. We are an hour and a half before London Open, sorry, and that's where we have the reaction at the last supply area, which was left from the lows of yesterday. This is where yesterday I was talking about the 50% retracement of this overall bearish move. You can see the 50% here. We start from there till there. That's exactly 50%. That's where the price always failed to break and made a new high, made a new attempt to break and make new highs, but failing, showing us that the supply was still holding. And then we come into the London. It's where this horizontal line was not placed. This we're going to talk about it later on, and that's where London Open fail here. This is exactly London Open fail to make new highs, as I always talk about, fail to make new highs, and then a little bit not in the best and cleanest way, of course, but still broke below this huge demand area, broke and retested, and then went all the way back down to the previous demand area. So what I was looking at is that of course this is all London, very much slower. You can see the momentum and the volume, and of course we're coming into the pre-New York area moment, but that's where you can see that there's a very clean trend line that I just placed out of nowhere, randomly seeing the new lower lows, lower highs, and then this double bottom at this level. It's quite nice, quite interesting, I would say. But as well, the same, where is this? We are still in pre-New York. Why is this horizontal line placed here? That's after I saw this rejection and placing it on the PPL. So what I did is just, okay, so let's see here what is happening. Horizontal line over there, matching it with the PPL. Okay, so let's see now on the 15-minute, where is that 1709.9? You can see here on the 15-minute, we have to go back to July to see how the price bounced multiple times, especially in high volume period of times. We had multiple rejections, and not even rejections, but reactions at this level, enough to confirm that this is a price sensitivity area. Was not charted up in the recent time. That's because the price never reached these levels in the recent time, but this is when I placed this horizontal line. So that's when, coming into pre-New York, we have the first failure to make a new high here. This is 10 minutes before New York open. This, I guess, it's the ADP. So we have the first reaction. It's a very strong bullish candle, but failing to break, even with this quite bad economic data for the USD, failed to break, and sort of, I don't know, but the reaction at the previous supply area is quite strong, and that's where you can go all the way back down to the supply. This is a 40 pip range, not much. But what's most important for me is that having already this level charted up as a relevant PSA, not just a random place like this, a random place like this, as a relevant PSA, this price action is quite strong, and it's quite strong instead of focusing only on this one. So maybe looking for sell, thinking that the demand is turn supply, blah blah blah. Having the adaptation and charting up of this price sensitivity area immediately gives opportunity for these entries. Now we're going to have a look at the timing of those. So this is COMEX open, strong aggressive candle. If you want to enter at the candle close, these are good only for some scalps, but your 20 pips TP, like yesterday that I showed you. Okay, maybe it's not immediate, but your PSA, if you enter there, even at the candle close, if you enter there, your stop loss is never hit and your PSA of reference has never been hit. You can have better entries, of course, but let's see what is there. This timing, perfect. This is 10 minutes, 7 minutes before the new 4 hour. I would not enter immediately there because of now we are in a range. We have another timing, which is this one. So we have New York Stock Exchange opening here, making the lower wick for continuation up. When the lower wick fails to make a new lows, therefore giving you high chance that we don't have that much bearish pressure anymore, because we would love to see, with New York Stock Exchange volume, with the multiple failure to make new highs, we would love to see a strong bearish momentum, strong candles like these ones, strong bearish momentum to break and make new lows, but this is not happening, and you have these quite nice possible candle giving you further confirmation of these bullish bias, and that's where you can have your first entry, 60 pips. You have the price breaking aggressively the previous supply area that you can even you can okay extend on the left hand side, but this is the main level that I was using as a demand, and I think it's like a PPL. Yes, it's exactly a PPL. So we broke above this supply area as a resistance, so that's what we need. Remember, we need a breakout, a retest, and for continuation up. If the price fails to break, then the bias is the opposite. This is a failure to break, this is a breakout. So what we check the timing. The timing is that this is 10 minutes before the 10 a.m. candle, and we have the 10 a.m. candle that breaks and that retests exactly this pullback. So you have this candle. So you have, if you have this idea already, this understanding, okay, this overall is the pullback, is sort of the lower wick, possibly on the of the 10 a.m. candle That's the liquidity grab of the 10 a.m. candle, and we are failing to break the demand area again after the breakout, break and retest. That's where you can enter at this exactly candle close, because that's your idea. If the price fails to break, of course you can have further better entry over here, but this is already 6-7 minutes. So what are you trading? Are you trading that still we are failing to break, but after the 10 a.m. candle open we failed to break on the upside as well multiple times even afterwards? So what is so I will prefer an entry over here and resisting towards okay, if it's broken, if I see an aggressive bearish candle like this breaking below, then I can cut my trade short at 15-12 pips instead of waiting and maybe risking that my entry is missed. That's another 60 pips. So let's have a look. Now this is the adaptation. This is very important because here I want to repeat myself. We are not using my previous demand area as a confirmation for buys. I mean, you could have entered here and you will still be alive. You could have used this candle related to this level which closes above, but for me this was the most relevant PSA, and the very most important part is that it was adapted live. That's what I really like about it. That's something that I've been backtesting a lot. This was almost a 50% retracement, but anyway, that's quite good. Anyway, you have a bullish pressure, and that's again, this was my supply area. I don't know if it's the same of the morning. No, it was one intermediate. And okay, you see that you are here. That's what I want to talk about. And of course, you don't have the trend line, blah, blah, blah. You see that you're here. So your supply has been broken, very aggressive. But what you see, what is this pattern? You see a bullish candle that is a vacuum, because it shows you have, look at this. Let's talk about these candles. So you have okay, you have how many candles are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 candles failing to close above the supply top range. Wicks left on the upside, weakness by buyers shown. And let me put it like this. Okay, and this is the first part. Okay, let me use a rectangle. No, doesn't need. Okay, failing to break. Then what we have is very aggressive slash out of nowhere bullish candle. Looks is a possible fake out if is reacting at relevant PSA. It's a possible fake out if it's reacting at a PSA. I don't know, I never remember how is this. Okay, it's a possible fake out. Let me just go like this and you go there. Okay. Pin bar showing rejection from relevant PSA, showing rejection. If the level is a relevant one, then is a possible resistance formed. Let me just make this. Tac, tac. Okay. Okay. So what I do, of course, I can even be in my PPLs. What I do is I place my horizontal line. So let's do it like this. Da, da, da. Place immediately a horizontal line and look on the left. There is, if it is a PSA. Okay. Let me save this. And we have now this PSA charted up. Of course, now we have all these Okay, look on the left hand side. This is the top, but if we use, because today was better to use the candle close, so let me just go back and put them all together. If we use the candle close, because that's where we are rejecting, it's much cleaner to see that this is the level. 22,740, 22,740. Look at this, all these reactions, but more likely, more than that. Okay, we are way back in time. More likely than that, we're going to have a look at what happened today. Look here on the left hand side and look if you go on the left hand side. What happened during London? That's exactly flat candle bodies, support and resistances, of course, at this level. So rejections, multiple rejections at the same level from London session. It's validated as a supply area / resistance. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do like this, we're going to do like this, and we're going to do like this. There you go. Easy peasy. Look at the next candle. That's where you can enter sells. Okay. Candle confirmation for sell, for entering sells. There it is. And then of course you have your price action developing. Further down. Of course now there's less volume, but that's where you get your full TP. There you go. So that's basically the price action of today and the importance of this adaptation, live adaptation. Because if you don't know where this price action, where these candles are rejecting, maybe you miss this first entry, but you have to understand that, like I said here, because of course this one was the first confirmation of the candle rejecting a relevant PSA, but if you don't chart it, then you don't have this future reference for price to continuation bullish. So that's where maybe you don't enter straight away here, but when you have further failures to break, where is the price failing to break? What level is it price failing to break? A random level? No, it's failing to break a relevant PSA. So this confirmation can give you further sells. And then what you have a confirmation that this is a supply, and then what you look from after a supply, pullback sells, pullback sell, pullback sell, break, pullback and sells of your reference level. You're not looking for buys, because this is just this level. No, because you have understood that this is a relevant supply. So this is a pullback sells, failing to break sells, pullback sells after breaking and confirmation that this is a supply area again. So that's where pullback sell, look here, what I was talking, pullback sells all the way back down, and that's what it's very important, and it's something that I really started understanding lately, and starting charting up as soon as possible lately. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I see you tomorrow.